Yo, what up guys, Light here. Today I'm going to show you how to make 2 mil an hour. Yes, 2 fucking mil an hour. Shit's insane. I'll be honest, the cost of entry is pretty high, but after all that, it goes crazy. Also, you're going to need some skill, so if you have a skill issue going on, I don't know what to tell you. And if you're not good under stress, I don't know what to tell you as well. Starting off, you're going to need to max 1 character on 6 accounts, so you can have 6 instances going on at once. Honestly, I kind of took it to the extreme, and I maxed out 18 characters, so I can do 3 hours of reruns. So I'd be making 6 mil in 3 hours. To beat all regions on 6 accounts on 1 character should take you about 90 hours. So in shiny hunting terms, that's about 3 shiny hordes. So if you really like shiny hunting, and you have more than 3 shiny hordes, you could do this easily. The only reason it should take you any longer is like if you don't know what you're doing and you don't have like a region guide, so just go watch Jinx guides and he'll give you the good stuff. If you want to get like a little crazy like me and max all the characters on all 6 accounts, it'll take you about 270 hours, a little bit more if you don't know what you're doing. And that's like about, I don't know, like 9 shiny hordes right there. So that's not bad. In PvP terms, that's like, I don't know, like 200 stall battles. So, there's something for everyone. And alright, the cost for entry for all of this is $24,270,000. Yeah, $24,270,000. Sounds a lot, but it's really not that much if we see how much we spend on egging, on shiny breeding, just raid mons. This shit's nothing, dude. You'll make it back within, like, I don't know, like 2 weeks, maybe a month. And so the team I use is the 7 health teams, and if you don't know what the 7 health teams is, I'll go over it briefly. Basically, you just use a Blastoise, a Typhlosion, a Togekiss, Excadrill, a Aerodactyl, and a Vanillux. I'm not sure where I seen it at, but they were saying that you have to use like a 5x31 for like every mon, but I don't think that's really true, because the only 5x31 I use is my Excadrill. The rest are 2x31, and my Aerodactyl, it's like 20 plus in everything except for attack and speed, which is 31 on both of those. And for the cost of each mon, it's going to be like 300k for a Blastoise, 260k for a Typhlosion, 240k for a Togekiss, 1.7 mil for an Excadrill, 400k for an Aerodactyl, and 400k for a Vanillux. But honestly, if you breed them all up yourself and do all the training and everything, and EV training yourself, it'd be way cheaper. Especially for the Vanillux. Like, there's not that many on the market, so people just tax them so much. For the items, you're going to need 18 choice scars, which comes out to 1.4 mil. You're going to need 6 choice specs, which is 540k, 6 choice bands is another 540k, and 6 wide lens is 84k, making your total 22 mil 364,000. And for all the TMs and the PP ups, honestly, I just got kind of lazy and I didn't want to add them all up because I don't know, it was just tedious. I didn't want to go to the store, the fucking market, or check the GTL, see what's cheaper, what's more expensive. But basically your total amount should be what I said earlier in the video. Alright, now I want to lay some ground rules for like multi-device runs, because I know a lot of people, I was reading in the comments like, how are you able to do this? Like, it seems like it's so much. In reality, like, at first when you start doing it, yeah, it can be overwhelming, but like after you get like your first 2 to 3 runs, it's pretty easy if you know what you're doing. The biggest thing I would say is never move more than 2 characters at once. If you have more than 2 characters needing to be moved at once, I would suggest to log out the one closest to your main, because you don't want any device like falling back way behind. Like, you don't want any device like 5 gyms behind. You want to keep your devices like 1 to 3 gyms like apart from each other. The next rule is you never want to hold the A button on mobile, because it can glitch out and kill your time. So you would have to log out and then re-log back in. And that's something you don't want to do with a multi-device run, because every second is crucial. If you want to do it on PC, you're fine. I don't think I've ever heard the glitch happening on PC. I've only seen it happen on mobile a lot. It's happened to me a lot, so what I do is I just spam the A button. Another rule is you want to offset your devices by 2 turns or more. I have like an example popped up right now. But ideally, you want to avoid starting a battle at the same time as another account. But sometimes it's just unavoidable and you have to start it while doing another account at the same time. because you never want to have a device waiting. We're trying to hit the 1 hour mark, maybe 105, but I try to keep myself under 105 or 105. I never like going over 105. Another thing is always remember your routes, because there's times where you're not going to be able to look at a device you're moving around. So for example, if you know one of your routes is just a straight path, you just hold down on your controller or your keyboard and you don't even have to look at the device, and you can keep on playing on your other ones. Or another example is saying, oh, I know I have to go up, then eventually go right, then go up again. You don't even have to look at the device. You just do it, and you know you're in the right position. Maybe glance at it a little bit just in case you think you messed up, but you can just keep on going. The next one is always remember your opponent's leads so you know what's going to happen during the battle. The route I have, I know every situation that's possible, like everything that can go wrong. So maybe I might make a future video on my route and showing exactly what can go wrong and what's good. Alright, next, you never want to get upset or like mad if something goes wrong. Just keep on playing as normal, because if you start thinking of something else, the whole route is just gonna mess up. Because honestly, I've been there. I would get upset like one thing goes wrong, and then I would just like hyper focus or hyper fixate on that one thing going wrong, then everything else would just go wrong instantly, and it's a terrible time. The last thing I would say, switch your Pokemon as soon as a battle ends or right before you get into a battle. Also, a couple more things. I'd recommend using controllers. I feel like it's easier, but you could also use a keyboard. I know Jinx uses a keyboard. He says he prefers it. So whatever you're most comfortable with, you go ahead and use that. Also, if you have this is for mobile device specifically, if you have the screen controls on, make sure you always turn them off during a run, because it'll make it like faster, because the controls sometimes like block certain cities. So yeah, that's pretty much it. If you have any more questions, you can just go ahead and comment, and I'll be happy to let you know. But yeah, let's get into the run.